Hello everyone, welcome back to the Slides Coasters YouTube channel. Today's not a podcast. Today's actually a update with your host, Brad the Water Parker. This is just a way for me to touch base with you guys and just to let you guys know that I actually care about your responses. A lot of people recently, a lot of my subscribers have messaged me privately, which we'll get into that a little bit later, about maybe shortening down the shows to where they're not an hour 30. Let me just tell you this right now. I am listening and I know what you're talking about because we're actually going to go on ahead and shorten up our shows by diversifying our portfolio with the whole entire channel. So, every single week, my main thing, every single week when you come to Slides Coasters is that you guys should be getting the latest, the greatest in the theme parks, water parks, and holiday event industries. And a lot of people, they just don't really care to get that out to their audience. I do. I care about my audience. I care about what you guys think. I care about, getting you guys the most information out there. Even though some parks, some things may not be mainstream news. There's going to be a lot of random little parks here and there that not a lot of people talk about, or news segments that not a lot of people talk about, but we're going to talk about them here because I want to make sure that you guys are updated and you guys are the most informed community out there. Simply put, you're not going to get the level of care and quality from any other place than here on Slides to Coasters. With that being said, the podcast is going to change a little bit, and this is all part of bringing you guys, number one, my main key three figures I want to look at today is number one, being brief. Number two, giving you guys the most bang for your buck. And number three, enriching your social life within the coaster community. And we'll get into number three later on. But, number one, the Slides to Coasters podcast, we're going to change up our format. We're no longer going to do the news with the podcast. This goes back to a theory of mine that I want to go and have 30 to 45 minute shows, and the news, simply put, I want to take 10-15 minutes, and I don't really feel comfortable putting that in with a podcast. I feel like the podcast needs to be a topic centric show that is a longer format, that's something to where we talk. Not all podcasts have to be about theme parks, water parks, and holiday events. It can be other things we talk about. Maybe just life, maybe just trip planning. There's a lot of things we can talk about with the podcast. But my main concern for you guys is the fact that I don't want to sit here and have a hour and a half show when I want to make this, I want to make this something to where, like, if you're going up to, like, your local theme park, right? You're going to, like, Kings Island or Cedar Point or Busch Gardens Tampa or Knott's or Six Flags Magic Mountain when those eventually open. That this is a show that you can listen to in the car. Of course, I am not endorsing texting while driving. I am not endorsing that you go and look up my shows while you're driving. What I am saying is that you have a passenger, or before you start driving, you turn it on before and you listen to it in the car. Something to where you could listen to it on the road, or listen to it while you're studying, or maybe you have nothing to do, so you're working out. This is a podcast where you can listen to this, not have to sit down and watch a video, because I know that sometimes that gets a little bit, too much. But this is something to where you can go, sit down, listen to the podcast, and then move on with your day. With that being said, the news is not going away. And we'll get into that here in a second, because every single week I'm going to try to deliver you guys 1 hour of content. That means that you're going to have two 15-minute shows on top of the podcast. So you're getting about 30-45 minutes. Then you're getting a 10-15 minute show on Wednesday and Friday. Our Wednesday shows are going to be our variety shows. We have roughly around 4 variety show topic spheres of topics that we can discuss, and I'm going to kind of break those down real quick. Number one, Coasters on a Dime. This is going to be a show about trip planning and how to save money when you're going out to the theme parks. A lot of people, they ask me, and I asked a lot of people about how to do these parks. I've learned a lot of information over the past several years that I've been a coaster enthusiast, a water park enthusiast, holiday event enthusiast. I know when to get the tickets. I know how to do things. So we're going to be exploring that and Coasters on a Dime. This is going to be a way for you to go and be, again, the most informed community out there. You're going to know how to hit up these parks, when to hit up the parks, when do you go and buy your tickets. As well, we're going to be talking about foodie reviews. This is going to be something I'm very excited for. The foodie review is basically, we're going to sit down and talk about either a food item, or maybe we're going to talk about a dinner, or we're going to talk about, food selections or a food festival. You name it, you got it. We're going to talk about it right here on Foodie Reviews. We're going to try to keep it pretty diversified, because my main thing is that I want you guys to know that you can stay within the park and eat food rather than going on out and getting some fast food from across the street. I used to be like that. At my home park, Kings Island, there's a Chipotle right across the street. I used to be like that because, number one, I didn't have the meal plan. And number two, there wasn't really a good variety of food a few years back. However, now, we'll get into this in foodie reviews under Chef Major. I love the dude. I love the way that he's been moving Kings Island with foodie items and just food in general. Food service. Just the quality overall has really increased under him. So we're going to be talking about that in Foodie Reviews. So that gives you a little bit of a taste. You see I'm using a little bit of pun now with this. That gives you a little bit of taste of what we're working with Foodie Reviews. Now we're going to move on to Slides to Coasters Tidbits. These little, it's going to be a little show. We're not going to call it Tidbits as a show. Instead, we're going to have very small show topics. Again, these are show topics that I cannot extend up to 30 minutes. There are certain things I really like to discuss, but, they're like casual coffee shop talk. It's nothing that I can really sit down with the co-host and talk about for 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Something very quick, something very easy to talk about, something that's easy on the ears. It's going to be a very easy, simple topic to discuss, and we'll talk about it for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then the last show format is a variety show. This is an anything fly show. This is not going to be called anything, but it's good. And in all honesty, Tidbits, the Slides Coasters Tidbits shows are supposed to be coaster theme park centric. The variety show is supposed to be anything flies. So we could talk about a video game, we could talk about a movie or genre, or talk about a franchise, or something that is out there that we want to talk about. This is the show. As well, mailbags. We're going to try to do a mailbag every month, and we'll talk about how to become a part of that program. But we're going to try to have a mailbag every month. We're going to take a few people's questions or comments. We're going to put them on the show. All I ask really is that you just put down your name, just put down your first name, and then what's your home park, and then just put out the question. Which we'll discuss that later on down the line. However, with that being said, I think that this is going to be a great way to go and fill up some of the Wednesdays for us. And moving into our Fridays, we're going to be having our news show. So the Slides to Coasters newsroom will be active on Fridays. We'll be having 10 to 15 minute shows about certain news segments from around the world. Of course, sometimes we might even have, and this goes the same for the podcast, we might have 2 news segments or 2 podcasts drop in one day. Again, the podcasts are Monday, news is on Friday. And that's strictly because some news topics are very, very long. And, there's going to be some situations where a podcast might be just news. There might be a situation where we might make a news a podcast format due to the fact there's a lot of stuff going on. For example, when Cedar Fair announces their attractions, or Six Flags announces their attractions, that will happen. However, most news is going to be roughly 10 to 15 minutes long, and you're not going to have to deal with, you're not going to deal with 30 minutes of blah, 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 because I can only tolerate so long of myself talking to myself, let alone you guys listening to me for about 30 minutes about news topics that I'm sure that I can scrunch down to about 10 to 15 minutes. With that being said, though, I want to move on to our next bit here, which is about social media. So, we do have a Facebook. We now have an active Twitter. I had a Twitter before, but I kind of left it be for a while. Then we also have an Instagram now. And that is very simple. Just look up Slides to Coasters and you'll find us there. We already have a photo of the Vortex piece that I bought on Saturday. Very, very cool item, by the way. However, we have Instagram so that way you guys can be involved, get involved with us on there. Then as well, we have a Discord now. The Discord was a idea that I had a while back, but I had a few contractual things I had to work out. And recently, with just a few pushes in certain directions, I finally said, all right, this is the time to go on out and open up the Discord. So we have a Discord. It's called Slides to Coasters Discord. This is going to be a place where you can go and hang out, talk about theme parks, water parks, holiday events. We have a very, very nice organized format as well. We have a random discussion to where you can talk about things like, theme park gaming in general, general discussions about day, how's your day going, what's going on in your life. But we're going to have our shows on here on YouTube, but we're also going to have the capacity for you guys to interact with us, Slice Coasters team, on Discord. So when you join, all I ask you to do is just read the rules, and you'll be set and ready to go. Of course, if you have any problems or issues, please do not hesitate to go and talk to a staff member or an admin. We are all specifically trained to the Slides to Coasters, just the standard of care, because I really do believe that for a community like this, again, I think of you guys like a family. I think of my community as a group of people that I can go and hang out with at the parks and go and do stuff with, and really, of course not at the parks together, but, in spirit. It's a way for us to go and hang out, and especially with Discord, you could be coming on home from the theme park and you could talk about your trip report. You could go and send me, things in the mailbag, which we do have the mailbag area in our random discussion. So you go on in there, click on the mailbag. You'll be able to put in your, just simply put in your first name, your home park, and then put in your question. And that will go in to the mailbag for the month. Of course, if we don't have a lot for the month, then we probably won't do the mailbag. Or if we already covered a question in one of the shows, I might go and message you privately saying, hey, this is our show that we did for this week. If you want that answer, go to that show. And again, and above all else, with the Discord, we have an open door policy. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please do not hesitate to go and message staff member or an admin. We'd love to help you out. We'd love to make sure that you are welcomed and that you enjoy your stay in the Slice Coasters Discord, which that link will be in the description down below. As well, all of our socials are always going to be in our subscriptions. As well, they will be in this main channel social tag. So if you go and click on the channel, you'll see on the right hand side, if you're on desktop, there's going to be a little rectangle of socials right there. So you can click on our Discord, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, you got it. So I would definitely recommend, if you want to be involved with the community and really get in touch with the Slides to Coasters and really be a part of this amazing community, follow us on all of our socials, because you're going to get different content on every social. There's going to be certain things that will be the same. However, you're going to get some content that you might not get with our Twitter. On Instagram, you're going to get a lot of photos on Instagram. You might get a lot of hot takes on Twitter. You're probably going to get a lot of updates on Facebook. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this little update. As always, I'm always looking out for you guys. I always care about what you guys think about the show. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please do not hesitate to go and leave a message down below. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, starting tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll have a show. We'll start up our show sequence just, like what we would in any normal week. So we're going to upload on Wednesday and Friday, and then next week we'll start Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So with that being said, stay tropical, everyone, and I hope you have a good day.